to the Trans Nation eSports US Regional Series coming at you today from the Great White North. I am Stu, joined here today by my good buddy Seb. Seb, how's it going today, bud?
Oh, I'm doing good, eh? Gonna have the Canada Grand Prix today, and I'm excited for some nice racing today.
Yeah, we are. We're in for some good old-fashioned racing here between the boys as they roll around this Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in beautiful Montreal, Canada. The only question in my mind, Seb, heading into this race is how is Michael going to fix the lobby today? What weather is he going to fix it to? And how is it going to benefit him today here in Canada? Canada, eh?
Uh, I mean, honestly, if I was him, I would set it to that rain again. He did seem like he was really strong going up in that rain.
Yeah, Canada's a track that's very prone to heavy rain, so we'll see what's got coming here. Just waiting for the lobby to load up. It's beautiful sunshiny conditions here in beautiful Montreal,
Oh man, let
and
me go. Let me go get my suntan lotion and pull out a beach chair, get my
no,
tanning on while I do these comms.
don't worry, this is still in Canada. It's only like it's just jeans weather right now, so no need to get some sunscreen. Um, I guess before we get too into the qualifying, though, let's take a brief gander. Oh, wait a second. I just got a weather report, and we have,
Ooh,
ladies and gentlemen, rain at the end of the race. So leave it to Michael to make sure he sets up the race. He set it up last time so that he was going to be really good at the beginning, but now he's set it up the smart way. Better at the end.
it's rigged.
It is
This
rigged.
this Monday division regional race is rigged.
Sorry, folks. We try and do what we can to keep things even here in the Transnation Esports US Monday Regional, but Michael seems to always just muck it up. Regardless, though, and this is a very odd transition from that, onto our championship point standings, we find the man who always seems to set it like this atop the championship standings. So that's a little sus. But Michael Gordon
Very.
Jr. leads the championship standings with 143 points. Okay, I can't. I've never been able to say Joseph's last name, so I don't know why I'm trying to say it now. Joseph, that is Bucks JO20, 130 points in second place. Zach Hockmeyer in third place with 95. Michael Schoonert with 82 points in fourth. Jonathan Duncan in fifth place with 78 points. Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, in sixth with 61 points. A little bit further back from that, Julian Monegro with 32 points is in 7th. Vince Batterby with 30 points is in 8th. Alex Gutierrez, Bean Sandwich, of course our champion from last season, is in 9th place. And rounding out the top 10 is Trevor Pound with 24 points. Aaron Boland in 11th with 22 points. Wesley Sandridge in 12th with 17 points. Bill Vossi, Billy Jex with 16 points in 13th place. Rolly Shield, who we are not currently watching right now on screen. That is his teammate Aaron Boland. But Rolly Shield, a random Sirius, has 12 points, as does Peter Pan, Bow Tie or Die. David Aponte is in 16th place with a single point. And finally, we have Peter Hayward with a single point in 17th place. Quickly running through the constructors, are McLaren at the top with 204 points. In second place, we do have a really tight battle here between Red Bull with 160 points and AlphaTauri with 154. Down in fourth place, Racing Point has separated themselves from the pack. They have 123 points. Alfa Romeo in fifth with 34. 1 point behind them is Mercedes with 33 points, and Williams has 30 points in seventh. In eighth place, Haas has 29 points. In ninth place, Renault has 17 points. And finally, bringing up the final team is Ferrari with 13 points scored. So, Mr. Seb, we should have some drivers coming around to complete their first flying laps now, shouldn't we?
I believe we should. Let's see here.
Bucks is on a flying lap right now on the mediums. Now, Seb, Mr. Peter Pan has set the first lap at 110.1. Julian Monegro at 110.5. Seb, what do you think the ideal strategy is around here, especially considering that we have rain at the end of this session?
Don't crash.
That is
Don't crash and
brilliant.
don't get disqualified.
That is brilliant. That's gonna win. That's actually gonna get you a lot of good results in places. Have you ever thought about being a teacher?
I've thought about it, but I like to have the more knowledge of people be teachers. I like to give everybody else a chance to get out there and teach. I'd like to sit back and watch.
As Joseph dives into the pits, not going to set a lap on those medium tires. Interestingly enough, Julian Monegro set his time on the medium set of tires. Michael Garone Jr. invalidated his first attempt at a lap here, but he is on a flying lap right now. As Blackstig, I do know his name, but that is, of course, Cameron. He has gone to the top of the charts with a 109.1. Michael Garone Jr. out of the final corner and down the front straightaway. What is he going to do here? He goes second fastest on the mediums with a 109.5. So a nice lap there for Michael Garone Jr. on the mediums. If he does opt to start the race on the mediums, that should put him fairly high up the running, I would imagine.
So ideally, I think if they could with the rain at the end, I would try to start on the mediums and
Now,
see if I could take the mediums all the way out there.
oh, Michael goes wide. Now, Seb, since we do know there's rain coming at the end, do you think you would ever? I guess it depends on when. This is what, a 35 lap race?
I
Would
believe
you
so.
would you ever consider doing maybe a double soft stint? Because you could probably reasonably go. It might be pretty tough, but you could probably drag that out to around lap 23, 24. I guess it depends on what time the rain says it's going to roll around. But do you think we could see some drivers trying that today, or are we just going to see them play a little safer and sticking on the mediums?
Um, I mean, I would do double soft stints, but of course, we can't see when the weather's gonna change, when the rain is coming in, so obviously they're the only ones with that information, but if they could, I guess you could do a double soft stint, and then if not, I mean, I'm sure you could take the mediums pretty far, especially since there's not a lot of turning and everything, it's a lot of just straights.
Yeah, it's a track I don't find it to be horrendous on the tire deg, although it is a two-stop strategy around here. Um, and also, we missed this. Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, goes second fastest with a 109.2. He has put 3 laps on those mediums, so I imagine he's going to be bringing it into the pits here this lap. He's definitely not going full speed. Lots of drivers have yet to set a time, though, as we see Joseph, Mr. Bucks, he is rolling around this 14-turn Grand Prix circuit here.
So what do you think are the hardest parts of this track, Stu?
Well, hardest parts, I mean, there's a few tricky sections around this track. If you start to look at, I mean, turns 3 and 4 can be pretty tricky. Of course, that's where Sebastian Vettel infamously went through the grass during last year's Grand Prix, and is that a dangerous re-entry and picked up a penalty that ultimately cost him that Grand Prix as Bucks invalidates in the final the final chicane here on his flying lap. But of course, turns 3 and 4 are pretty tricky. I really find the traction coming out of turn 7, right before the DRS zone in the middle of the track. I find that can be quite tricky as well, just getting the power down properly. But I really think the most difficult corner on this track, and you can gain a lot of time through here if you do it properly, but it can also cost you heavily in terms of corner cutting penalties, is the final chicane, turns 13 and 14. It just invites you to cut it, but then if you want to play it safe, then you end up losing time through it. So it's really a fine line that you walk, and this is a track today that we're going to see lots of penalties come into play.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I believe
But
you would get a lot of penalties during the last chicane, and then also turns 8 and 9.
yes, that is correct. Turns 8 and 9, turn 3 and 4 can be another one where you can just pick up one. Another corner that I found was I picked up a warning or a couple warnings the other night um, that I wasn't expecting them. I think it was in turn 6, just at the beginning of sector 2. It seemed to be very very interesting or very tricky through there. As actually Zach Dilligaff, he is coming to this. He has yet to set a flying lap, so
I mean, it is very easy to invalidate here.
yes, it is. And as we see with the number of invalidations, we still have what 6 drivers that have yet to set a flying lap. So um, really costing some drivers, but that's Canada for you. It's if you can keep it between the lines, you're going to be in for a decent finish. But oh, that was close. As Michael Groen Jr. was coming out of the pits, and Wesley was on a flying lap. Now, Seb, something that I thought would be a little bit fun to do here, seeing as I am Canadian and we are, of course, at the Canadian Grand Prix, is that I have a few Canadian staples that are here that you can't really find in very many places in the world. And I'm gonna talk about them a little bit over the course of the broadcast here this evening. The first one that I'm gonna talk about is real maple syrup. It's hard to name a more iconic thing than real maple syrup, and it's just it's a very unique pride point for Canada, and even relating it more into Quebec, where the province where this race is held, is in Quebec. The maple syrup industry is very very large. A large majority of the maple syrup comes from this province, and there's actually a maple syrup mafia. That
What?
yes, there is. Um, there was a number of years ago. So the way that it works is maple syrup producers, they typically sell their maple syrup, or they all pile it together, um, and they sell it as one sort of organization, so they can maximize the price for it. That typically includes price fixing and things of that nature, but it is very much like a mafia, and because it's pretty expensive to be a part of this organization, it it oftentimes there was people that would go off on their own and they would illegally sell barrels of the maple syrup that they produced to other countries, etc. And there was a massive scandal about it a number of years ago that swept especially through Quebec. So interesting piece of Canadiana right there for you is the maple syrup mafia, and it is just delicious stuff.
So you're telling me if I was part of this maple syrup mafia, it would be a legitimate reason to kill somebody over maple syrup?
Oh yeah, people have definitely been killed over this. They've had like arson aplenty, burning down sugar shacks, which is which is kind of a staple here as well. It's where maple syrup is partially produced, but then it's also kind of like a pancake house. Um, yeah.
So instead of crying over spilt milk, do you guys cry over spilt maple syrup?
Well, I mean, anybody should cry over spilt maple syrup. It's one of the most delicious substances known to man.
Can I get a verification from somebody on this info?
Now, while I was ranting about maple syrup and how delicious it is, Joseph Bucks goes to the top of the board with a 108.7, an extremely speedy lap, and we're going to have Zach Hockmeyer across the finish line now on an invalidated lap. So he did set a 110.6, which I imagine he didn't have everything cranked up for the duration of that lap, but that's not a very good lap time on his part. As Brett Keenan has validated what I've said, and he has posted a link in the YouTube comments as Zach hit the wall there. The Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist. Yep. It was.
Oh Lord.
that swept the news here a few years ago. So I do know what I'm talking about, people. I do know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I
Um,
would hope so. You do live in Canada still.
that is true. That is true. Now, one of the things that's interesting here is Mr. Zach. He has front wing end plate missing, and he has yet to set a flying lap. He has enough time to dive into the pits here and get that wing changed out, but it's going to be pretty tight. He's going to have one opportunity here to set a good lap for the race, and I wonder if he's going to slap on the softs or if he's going to try and do it on the mediums.
I mean, he's gotta. I mean, I believe he could stay on the mediums, but he is running very short on time right now.
Yeah, he is. This Canada track is very very short. It's about as we saw with Bucks, a minute 8 to do a full lap of a full lap around here. So reasonably, if he gets out with a minute 30, he'll be have tons of time to be able to make the lap good around here. But you know, it's definitely a little bit of added pressure.
I mean, yeah, he's got it. This is gonna be his last chance. His last chance to put down a time and see where it goes from there. He's not gonna be able to improve at all.
Yeah. Interesting strategies are going on here throughout the top 10. There's a lot more people trying the medium strategy start to this race than what we saw last night. We see Michael Garone Jr. up there in P4. He's the top runner on the mediums. Currently at a 109.5. We have Alex Gutierrez in P6, who has also done his fastest on the mediums. Wesley Sedridge is in P9, and Julian Monegro, who has just done a lap on soft, so that eliminates whatever I was saying, as he jumps up to P4. So
Michael's really got to put in a good time
he does, but
if
you
he
know
comes
what?
back out.
He'll be fine. He'll be happy to start on the mediums. I think the mediums hold up very very well around here, and he'll be able to. He might not have the. He'll at least be able to equal the pace at the beginning of the run. But as the run goes on, that's really where those mediums are going to show their strength. And if he can go, say, from mediums to softs, and then hopefully, or even if he goes double mediums, it's probably a two-stop race anyways. So if he goes double mediums to get to the rain, then you know that could be something that could do him a lot of good. But
That is true.
we'll see what the strategy plays out as Michael is coming out for a hot lap. What's he coming out? He's coming out on the softs. So I feel like this is going to be one of those laps where if he needs to pick it up, if he needs to have this last lap count, then he's going to complete the lap. But otherwise he might not. Although he is in P6 now, so with Zach yet to set a time.
And Zach is actually on a flyer right now.
Yeah, we see Joseph Bucks. He has retired from the session. He's fine with that 108.7. Daniel Hernandez with a 108.9. We see Cameron in P3 right now, 109 flat. He's just retired from the session. The Iceman, Michael Schoonert, beats Cameron's time by 2/1000ths of a second. Nice lap there for Michael. Julian Monego rounds out the top 5 with a 109 flat as well. So very good pace being displayed here with this group of Monday Night Drivers. And Zach is coming around to complete his flying lap right now. What can he do? He is going to come down the front straightaway and cross the start-finish line. He goes to the top, a 108.4.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. That is a flying lap. How does Michael respond? He's a 10th and a half up. I think he's going to complete this lap now. He's not going to want to start on those mediums anymore, I don't think. Starting P7 is not where he's going to want to start.
Oh, definitely not. But that was a very nice lap put together by Zach right at the last moment.
Yeah, it was. It was a very nice lap for Zach, and it really shows just how good. It's just a continuation of how good he's been the past few weeks, especially in this Monday Night Regional.
Well, Michael's actually three tenths up right now.
3/10 is not enough to do it, though. He has to pick. Although I mean, through
He
the
can make a
not.
lot of time in the last chicane.
Yeah, he can, but you would expect the Sauce would perform better in the technical parts of the track. Sector 3 is not nearly as technical, but we're going to find out. Michael Garone Jr. down the front straightaway. He's not going to beat Zach's time, but he jumps up to P4, a 109 flat.
Oh wow.
Interesting. So we do have. There's a lot of drivers, like the top seven, or okay, between drivers 2 and 7, they're separated by. Oh, who just jumped up? Daniel Hernandez, a 108.475. We didn't even see him on that flying lap. He is flying as well. My goodness. Some absolute blistering laps being put up in this session.
And I think there's a question for you, Stu, down in the comments.
Uh-oh. Wow. Why does Canada hate New Zealand? Stroll taking out Hartley in 2018 was clearly a hate crime. Well, I don't have anything to say about that. Not exactly that familiar with the incident. I guess that would have been an F3. Um, but no, that would have been in 2018. Stroll was in F1 then. So
Yeah, he was racing for Williams, I believe.
who was Hartley racing for?
I almost want to say. I don't think it was Williams, but it might have been
No,
AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso at
it
the
was
time.
Toro Rosso. Well, you know what? This is what I got to say to that. Just suck it up. Clearly, Hartley wasn't any good because he's not an F1 anymore. And clearly, Stroll's daddy has more money than Hartley's daddy. So, you know what? That's just the way she goes. That's going to conclude our qualifying session. And before I say anything much more than to rile Brett up, or our New Zealand fans up, I do think I should go on to my next piece of Canadiana to discuss here, and that's all dressed chips. Seb, have you ever heard of all dressed chips?
Um, is it chips that you eat after they've been dressed up?
No, no, it is not. It is not. It is man. So the best all dressed chips are Ruffles. They are a crinkle cut chip or a
Oh, we have that
wavy
here.
chip. Yes, but you don't have all dressed in the states. You
Oh,
do have normal Ruffles. Now, what all dressed is? It's a combination of, I believe it's sour cream and onion, barbecue, salt and vinegar, and there might be something else in there. But it's just this delicious combination of all these flavors that you just get in a delicious potato chip form, and it's definitely a staple up here, and it's one that I know lots of my American friends that have ever had them are they're always asking for them whenever I visit them.
you might have to ship me some.
Yeah, I don't know the best way to transport chips through the mail. That just
You
sounds
put
like
it
it
in a
does.
box, you tape the box, and then you send the box.
Well, yeah, Seb, but putting a bag of potato chips in a box sounds pretty expensive. They are kind of a voluptuous
Thought you loved me.
item. Well, I do. You know what? We were talking about this before we went on air. You were going to come up to Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix, I believe, eventually. So you know what? You can have them then. How about that?
Oh wow, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I know, no problem. I'll buy you a bag. You know what? That's what I'll do for you.
Oh,
Now,
thanks.
now, Seb, do you want to take us through our DXT Esports starting grid here today?
Yes, sir. I am still not up to par with all the names of everybody, though, but the ones that I do recognize off the top of my head, I will go ahead and say. So we do have Zach Gilligaff in P1, Daniel Hernandez in P2, Joseph in P3, Michael P4, also Michael, I believe, in P5.
Yep.
We have the Black Stig in P6, Soy Loco
Cameron.
P7.
That is Cameron in P6, one of our
We have
new
Cameron
drivers.
in P6. Um, I mean, if you just want to talk over me, the whole time that we're gonna do this, that's completely fine. Also,
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that, Seb.
we have Julian Monegro on P7. We have. Oh, I'm trying to go through all the names as I'm doing this. I'm just gonna let you talk over me. We have Bean Sandwich in P8.
Alex Gutierrez.
We have Bill in P9. Peter Pan in P10. Papa Sandwich P11.
Wesley.
Whizbang in P12.
Aaron.
Bark School in P13.
Dave.
We have Peter Hayward in P14. We have Jonathan Dunk in P15, and I believe David in P16 to round off the grid.
Hey, you know what? That's pretty good, Seb. You done good, bud.
I'm
You
trying,
done
eh?
good. Yeah, you're trying, eh? I mean, she's just gonna be a rough turn down there into turn one, but you know, if you can get about a car length in front of the guy that you're beside on the grid, then you're gonna be just fine and dandy here.
Well, I think these drivers are just gonna send her bud and hope she sticks.
Just gonna send it. As interestingly enough, J Dunk is just gonna send it into the first turn on the hards. He is the only driver starting this race on the hards.
Oh, there goes my spectator menu.
As the revs are building, the lights are building, and we are off and away. Zach gets off the grid. Daniel Hernandez gets a bit of a bad start, and Bucks is going to take advantage of it as they go into turn one. Oh my goodness, there's a little bit of chaos as Williams was off. Interesting, as they're side by side into turn three. This is, you cannot. People are following the cow path that Vettel carved through turns 3 and 4 last year, but everybody seemed to have made it through pretty well. Zach,
I wonder what happened to Michael.
Oh.
I thought he was running P2 because he had a great start, and now all of a sudden he's back in P6 unless the standings were...
There was some issue with the with that. I know the standings were all over the place as Julian tries to make a move out around the outside of Julian Monegro, but I think it was who was it that didn't get a great start? Daniel Hernandez, I believe, who started P2, didn't get a great start, and he lost a position to Joseph Bucks. As the drivers, there was a position change a little bit further back. Peter Pan picking up P11. Gaining a position. Whoa, who is that?
Ooh.
Aaron Bolin running a little bit wide.
And the first penalty is given the flag stage.
Wow. That is early to get that. There is a few spots on this track where it's easy to cut, but man, oh man, it is. You don't really want to be getting one on lap one, do you?
What happened to...
Yellow flag. Oh, we got a Williams. He just slapped it in. Cameron, he bounced it into the wall, and he has wing missing now. An absolute tank slapper. And that's going to cost him dearly here early on as the racing points. No, that's not the racing points. It was Bean Sandwich and Julian, I believe, were side by side. Some great chaotic racing going on back here from about fourth on down.
Did I miss something with Dunk?
Yeah, Jonathan, he just didn't. Oh, he does have wing damage. There was a yellow flag in Sector 2, and it must have been for him.
He is just falling down the order. Oh, he did have to pit.
Yeah. He also didn't put in a qualifying lap. Interestingly enough, Cameron did not come into the pits. I guess he's only missing
and we have Iceman with the 30-second penalty. David is missing half of his front right wing.
Yeah, David just got in an incident there in turn 1. Don't really know what happened, but regardless, he lost it. And that's a lot of wing.
I'll go with the 3-second penalty.
Yeah, it's going to be the...
Somebody's going to have a lot of penalty work to do today.
Oh, man, Alex Gutierrez just missed the back of Julian Monegro going into the hairpin. That was tight as tight can be. Oh, Michael Garone Jr. making a move on the Iceman into the chicane, and he's going to get it done. He got into the wall of champions, but able to not lose any wings, so a little bit of a scare. Are they going 3 wide behind him into turn 1? Oh my goodness. 3
that was
wide.
A nice overtake into the last chicane.
These guys are feisty on Mondays. Holy moly. This is like the Canadian version of bootlegging. They have all the maple syrup in the back of these cars, and they're just giving her.
Here we go with the maple syrup again.
Oh, don't you worry, Seb. I got more lined up for the rest of this broadcast here. But a great little...
Blackstick making a move on Iceman.
Oh, and then behind him, Alex Gutierrez going up the inside of Julian Monegro. Dave Arbus trying to follow him through, but Alex is going to get the move done. It's a DRS train here.
I mean, there's a lot of fighting going from P5 all the way to P9 right now.
This is some great racing that we're watching right now as Michael dives into the pits. I wonder what that's for. Does he have wing damage, I wonder, on that Red Bull? He does have wing damage. A wing replacement on deck for the Iceman as he's going to set the hards. A battle brewing between Dave Arbus and Julian Monegro here. This is currently for P7. And we're hearing reports that Julian has wing damage from our new pit lane reporter, Karun Chandok, coming to you live from beautiful New Zealand. But
Blackstick's actually missing a front end plate too.
Yeah, he had an absolute moment in, I believe it was turn 9.
Peter Pan with a 3-second.
Oh, the penalties are going to be coming fast and hard.
Michael really needs to be careful. He's got a lot of DRS train behind him. He's got nobody in front of him to be able to get a
Alex Gutierrez making a move going into the chicane. He gets it done cleanly, but oh, that was almost quite a wreck. As Michael's in, he needs a front wing change. Front wing change for Michael Garone Jr. He fits the medium compound tires and he is off and away. Didn't want to run any longer with that missing front end plate. So that's going to bump Alex Gutierrez now up to P4. He has had a good start to this race, just stayed out of trouble.
Bill is definitely running a clean solo race right now, running in P7.
That is true. Bill Vossi just doing his thing and hanging out in P7 while the world burns in front of him. Yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3 for Abs. Oh, that's a racing point. That's Alex Gutierrez.
Oh, wow.
He's got to be careful he doesn't get disqualified here. As I don't want to talk about that, especially around USEP.
And it didn't even disqualify him, and I'm pretty sure he ran backwards a lot more than I did. Not that I'm salty about the situation or anything.
But the commentator's curse alive and well there. As we see Michael Garone Jr. here trying to get past Peter Hayward. Peter Hayward just holding his line down the front straightaway. Michael Garone Jr. to the inside, going into the chicane. Michael's going to clear Peter before they get to the chicane, but he picks up a 3-second time penalty. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody ended with a penalty by the end of this race.
Yep. Bill Vossi into the pits, and he comes out side by side with Michael. Interesting. Bill comes out on the hards. The hards are not a good race tire around here. They are quite slow. Oh. Joseph Bucks and Peter Pan. Did we just completely miss that Peter Pan is up there battling for P4? I don't
I
know how
think
we
we
missed
did,
that.
but he does look like he's missing a front right end plate.
He is. That is
Taylor got with a
correct.
5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Ooh, our
Bucks is also
race
missing. Oh no,
leader.
Bucks has all his stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Joseph Bucks, he just came into the pits to fit those medium tires. Daniel Hernandez, the only driver left out on track. I'm actually kind of surprised that these drivers aren't trying to stretch these softs out a little bit farther. I know in last night's race, I think we were able to go about Cameron and myself went about 9 laps on the softs at the start of the race. It is definitely an overcut opportunity here, actually, despite what you might think. The softs don't really fall off that much. Oh, Daniel with an amazing save! Out in turn, I believe that was turn 9. Yeah, turn 9. Um, Definitely a tricky spot to get some traction, and he had a miraculous save.
I mean, he's got a 10-second lead right now, also. So I
That
mean,
he
if he could put some more space between him and everybody else, he might be sitting. Oh, never mind.
Oh, here we go. A battle here for P6. Alex Gutierrez getting past Aaron Bolin. That's Whizbang. Michael Garone Jr. looking to follow suit. Oh,
Oh,
Michael's
Michael
around!
spins.
Oh, no! He pulled a me! I spun in the exact same spot last night, but Michael has avoided any wing damage.
He's gonna
Oh
be
my.
very upset with himself right now.
That is the committee curse right there. But he knows the rain's going to be coming later. There's no need to panic. He's just got to be nice and easy.
I mean, Dilla Gap's on 8 seconds worth of penalties right now. So I mean, if you could really just keep it clean the rest of the way, you know, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more penalties with the fact that we have so many, and we're barely on lap 9 right now.
Yeah, the scary part is we're approaching the 1/3 mark of this race, and if you already have 8 seconds of penalties, I understand that one of them was speeding in the pit lane, as we have a Haas that's around in Sector 1. That is Peter
Oh, it's
Pan.
Peter Pan.
Oh, we were just talking about Peter Pan in a good way a couple seconds ago, but right now not looking up for him. Yellow flag in sectors 1 and 2. That is still just for the Haas there. Now, Bucks is actually doing a pretty good job here of staying within worry distance. Who's that around? Is that Bill Vosti? No. Somebody's around. Oh, that is
Bucks with the
David.
3-second.
Yeah, Bucks with a penalty. David Aponte went around in Sector 2. So, lots of front wings. The incredible battles that we had early on. As Michael Schooner picks up a 3-second time penalty. The incredible battles that we had earlier are now kind of dissolving into some mistakes. When I said that these guys were feisty here on Monday, they are really feisty, and I wonder if it's a
Bucks
full
might be
moon.
looking for a move into the final chicane.
That he is, and he's going to get that move done well in advance of that. Just the added traction that he gets from those fresh tires down that long straightaway just did him good there, and he got the move done very early on. Let's see, what do we have any other good battles here? We have Bill Vosti and then the 2 Red Bulls right behind him.
He's getting hunted.
Yeah, of Jonathan Dunk and the Iceman, Michael Schooner. Schooner.
Looks like a little towing action's going on there between those 2 Red Bulls.
Yep. A little bit of a tow, but I guarantee you they're going to be fighting hard amongst each other. They've
Look like they're doing a little shake it and then you bake it.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Ice
are
went
we?
right on the back of Bill.
Yeah, an unconventional spot to pass. He's gonna try for around the outside, and he's gonna get that. Oh!
Oh,
Easy, boys, easy. And Jay Dunk's gonna try and take advantage of it too, going into the chicane or into the hairpin here. He is gonna get that move done. Nice move there by Michael Schooner and the Iceman. And now he has to contend for it with Jonathan Dunk right behind him. Jonathan goes to the inside, going into the chicane. Jonathan is going to get the move done. And now some good battling going on between these three, and I imagine those two Red Bulls are going to stay pretty locked together here.
Michael slowly making his way up to that little pack also.
Just like Jaws, you can hear Michael creeping in the background.
He's also hunting.
He is a man on a mission right now. Now, while we're waiting for Michael and potentially actually Daniel Hernandez to get this battle going here for P2, Seb, the another piece of Canadiana that we have is up here. You could consider it almost a national food, and it's not the national. Oh, Michael with another 3-second time penalty. It's not the national food that you might have heard of, or the obvious one that might come to mind. This one is actually a grocery store staple, and it is called Kraft Dinner. I don't know if you guys don't have Kraft Dinner down in the States, do you?
Like Kraft cheese?
No. This is called Kraft Dinner. KD.
How do you spell it?
Kraft Dinner. So it is made by the Kraft brand that produces Kraft cheese. But
Okay.
Kraft Dinner is macaroni and cheese essentially. But it is infamously Canadian. It's only really available in Canada. Not that boxed mac and cheese isn't available anywhere else in the world.
Well,
But
Bucks with another 3-second penalty being chased by Daniel right now.
and Daniel's about to make a move here going into the hairpin. He just sends it into the hairpin. They're wheel to wheel coming out of it, and they're going to go side by side down the back straightaway. Who's going to get DRS? I think it might be Bucks. No,
that was
Daniel.
that was a little sus though on that defending from Bucks. Right at the last moment.
A little bit. Daniel's going to go to the inside into the chicane, and he's going to take that position away. Daniel Hernandez up to P2. But
everybody with seconds of penalties right now.
Oh, it's like Oprah. It's an Oprah meme of it. It's just Oprah. You get a 3-second time penalty. You get a 3-second time penalty. Everybody gets a 3-second time penalty here. And everybody's going to get multiple of them too, for sure. But yes, so Kraft Dinner is just a
Michael's on the back of Bill.
a delicious cheese. You're just trying to do anything here to get this topic of conversation away from Canadian things.
Well, I was just waiting to see if you were going to ever catch on, too.
No, but Kraft Dinner is delicious. And if you ever have the chance to try it, Seb, well, when you come to Montreal, you know what? I'll buy you a 50-cent box of Kraft Dinner. Actually, it's not 50 cents.
Man.
It's almost $1.
Kraft Dinner and a bag of chips. Sounds like a nice lunch to me.
That is a delicious lunch.
So is it like a TV dinner in a sense?
No. It's just dry pasta with a packet of cheese sauce, or like powdered cheese sauce, and but it's unlike any Kraft or any. We just call all of it Kraft Dinner, all of it KD. It's not really mac and cheese, but it's unlike any boxed mac and cheese you'll ever have. As we have a battle here between the two teammates for P7, Michael and the Iceman takes that position back. Meanwhile, further back, Michael Garone Jr. got past Bill Vosti.
Now hunting the Red Bull boys.
Yeah, hunting the Red Bull boys. And that's true. Matthew Elia, you do wash it all down with a Molson or a Labatt. We're in Quebec, and Quebec is more of a Labatt province. So you grab a nice can of Labatt Blue, or as it's called in Quebec, Labatt Bleu, and you slug her back.
Is that a beer?
That is a beer.
All right, I'm interested then.
That was actually the first beer I ever had in my life was a Labatt Blue. So that's a fun fact that you now know about me, Seb.
Oh, thanks. You're always learning something new when I do comms with you.
It's your turn to share. What's a fun fact about you?
Um, I like to go fast.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. You know what, Seb? I think we all kind of like to like to go fast.
Oh, Alexa. I mean,
What's that? You broke up there.
oh no, my Alexa's going off.
Oh. Your Alexa hearing you say, "I want to go fast." You're gonna have some fun ads pop up now on your phone. A great battle. Michael Garone Jr. with an incredible grip out of the second, third corner. He tried to make a move past Jonathan Dunk, but he was not able to get that move done. Perhaps for the better. But battle a little bit further back. Julian Monegro getting past Wesley for position. That's for P11.
I am currently battling my Alexa because she will not turn off. So if you hear background music, I am completely sorry.
Well, what name
oh,
him more?
Michael
Oh,
going for a move at the hairpin.
yeah, he is. Around the outside, he's going to get great traction off the corner, and he's going to pick up that position. He should have DRS as well, which he does.
Oh, he does.
Both of the drivers do, because Jonathan was in within his teammate. Jonathan looks to the inside, but is not going to send it into the chicane. Probably wise, but he does pick up a 3-second time penalty. That's not so wise. Michael looking to make a move into turn one. He takes a peek, and he's going to send... No!
Oh, no, he thought better of it right at the last moment.
That was close, let me tell you. That could have been bad. But they settle back in, and they're behaving for now. You know what? Someone who's done very well since having an incident is Alex Gutierrez. He had a spin a little while ago, and he's done a good job to rebound from this. Of course, you could say the same thing about Mr. Michael Garone Jr., who's just a few seconds behind him. But good job, Alex Gutierrez, in this race so far.
I mean, I'm sure he's going to get past Dunk or Iceman now.
Yeah. He's gonna send it down the inside here. He is, and he's gonna get that move done. Into the chicane.
Oh, and he picks up a penalty, though.
Did he? Oh, I didn't see that. Didn't pop up for me. Interesting.
Now, if you haven't noticed, it almost might be time to go get our fishing poles and go fishing for some trout as it's getting a little darker now.
You're right, it is lap 18 and the rain might be coming earlier than usual. Hello. That would be something that certainly throws a wrench into these things, as I'm sure drivers like Alex Gutierrez are just going to try and ride out these tires until then. Man, the commentator's curse is alive and well tonight. As I said that, Alex picked up a 3-second time penalty.
I believe the front right now is just, all the front runners are just a little spread out.
But you know what would really shake that up, Seb? Some rain.
Should I get off the couch and start doing my rain dance?
Yeah, maybe. Tell your Alexa to do the rain dance. Hey Alexa, do a rain dance.
Yeah, right? There is just a train from P6 to P10 right now.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Oh, Michael got great traction off of turn 2, I believe.
Oh, they're going side by side! And Michael gets the position. J-Dunk or Michael Schooner also trying to get that position. He's going to get that done. Oh, Michael just picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Stacking those penalties, though.
Yep. Everybody is. I mean, let's just be real. Actually, is that Brett made a good point. If you asked Alexa to play or do a rain dance, she might just start playing "It's Raining Men," which, based on what your Alexa was doing a couple minutes ago, that might actually be what happens there.
I mean, she was playing one of my
Oh, the
favorite.
rain is falling.
Oh, it's raining.
It's raining. It's a raining man. Hallelujah. Now, I don't think anybody's going to make the move into the pits
What did we
this
say
lap.
about your singing career, Stu?
Look, I thought we wanted to make that a regular occurrence on the show.
I don't think we're trying to. I think you should just stick to your day job.
Fine. Well, you know what? It's lap 20 here, and finally the maple whiskey is starting to set in here. The first song of the broadcast has come out, and man, if the rain continues, then there's a couple other things.
I do hope we get some heavy rain, you know, because when I see a storm, it kind of does get me excited.
Oh, you shut up, you. I will end you from this broadcast. Nobody watching knows the reference that you're, none of the...
You know, but it's true, you know, because it just means we're going to be busy. Because, of course, we'll be busy on stream watching all the accidents.
I will just boot you from the party right now as Michael locks up going into the hairpin. Maybe starting to feel the effects of the rain a little bit now as we're going to bring it back to the racing action. Going to the YouTube comments, how much whiskey can you consume knowing you have work in the morning? Well, as much as I damn well please. No, Whoa, Michael almost lost it into the wall of champions. Hello. As there's a battle going on between, well, there was. It looks like Bill is going to be the first to blink here. Is he going to come in and put the inters on?
Dave also has the interns on.
He has the interns on, eh? Interesting.
Oh, yeah, eh? It's like we're going to get some rain here, eh? Maybe do a little ice fishing, eh?
I think it's a little bit too early for the inters. I don't think it's wet enough. I think these are just going to overheat.
You might be able to do softs.
Yeah, but I think you needed to tough it out for another lap or two, no?
I personally would. I mean, I'm on board with Zach right now, and he seems to be doing okay. Michael's tires might just be gone.
Yeah, maybe. Well, 15 laps on the mediums, it's not out of the question yet. It's not raining heavily though. Alex Gutierrez would be the one that's dying to get off those mediums, and he's gone 20 laps on those.
I mean, it looks like it's just light sprinkles, just like how I like it on my ice cream.
Yeah, or on your donut. Sprinkles on a donut are pretty good too.
Oh, that is true.
Man, now I need a donut. Maybe
yeah,
I'll just
go down.
I
need some ice cream.
Maybe I'll just make a trip down to my local Timmy's after tonight and get myself a nice donut. Timmy's is Tim Hortons, a delicious coffee and donut chain. Very similar to Dunkin' Donuts in the States, but just better. And
excuse you?
Yeah. Oh,
well, I mean,
my Alex almost lost it.
It can't be better than Krispy Kreme.
Okay, Krispy Kreme is a one-trick pony. They have one good thing.
Donut.
Well, no, they only really have one good donut, I might argue. The other donuts that they try and do are kind of mediocre.
I might just boot you from the stream, Stu.
You know what? Frig off, Seb. Frig off. I'll boot
really
you from the stream.
Nobody has come in for inters except for the few. Oh, and Bucks goes for the inters.
He does. I don't know. Is this too early? Like, call me crazy, but it's usually too early. It's usually too early if DRS is still enabled, which DRS is still enabled.
I mean, honestly, the track doesn't even look wet.
There's no spray coming up. It's kind of incredible. Everybody's coming in now though. Like Michael's into the pits, but I just don't know if this is the right call yet.
Michael just left on inters.
I'm gonna look at. I mean, on these old mediums though, it would be hard to keep the temperature up. I will say that.
Zach is finally coming in. and I think that's going to get Daniel to bite also.
Yeah, probably. Interestingly enough, Wesley is coming in and he's put on the softs. So this will be interesting to watch because he should be. Oh, Daniel Hernandez, a 5-second time penalty for speeding on pit road.
Oh,
Oh,
so did Zach.
oh, that's his second one. Zach has
He just,
13 seconds of penalties then.
I mean, but they were both in front by a lot. I mean, oh, and we have.
Bill Flag in sector
Oh, it's a
2.
Renault.
Is that Bill or is that
David.
David? David again. Just a bit of trouble. Now that the wet is kind of setting in now. There is actually a spray, a bit of a spray. Yellow flag still in sector 2. That's still the Renault. So Wesley, taking a look at him. Let's see how he's doing on these softs. He looks to be struggling a little bit. He's pretty tender on the throttle.
Taking her nice and easy, eh?
Yeah, he sends it wide into the chicane. He did let Zach by though, so maybe he was just doing that, trying to go wide to let Zach by. But yeah, I don't think the softs were a good move. I do still think these drivers could have stayed out for another lap on the mediums, but I mean, what do I know? Yellow flag in sector 3.
Flag.
That is.
David's got no front wing.
So
Sandwich just came in.
Seb, the lobby hacker, Mr. Michael Garone Jr., is now up to P5 now that the wet conditions have set in.
A little suspect.
A little bit sus, as there's a yellow flag in sector 1. I believe that's still the Renault of David. That's causing that delay. Perhaps getting out of the way of our leaders.
Pan with another 3-second penalty.
That he did get.
I'm not even going to take a guess on who's going to win. Well, I'm pretty sure Zach would, but anybody else following because I have lost count of penalties.
You know what? I don't know how many we've seen for Daniel Hernandez yet, but Daniel is gaining on Zach right now on track. He's actually doing a pretty good job. Well, you know, he closes it down, then he loses a bit of time, so we'll see what he's losing a bit of time down the straightaway there. Maybe he cranked up the wing a bit on that pit stop.
Oh yeah, he might have.
It wouldn't have been necessarily a bad idea, although you do lose so much. Yeah, he must have cranked up the wing on that because he seems to gain on Zach into the corners and through the technical sections here. But that's not going to help him try and complete a pass necessarily. I don't know, have we seen DRS be disengaged or disabled?
I don't know, but I can check for you right now.
I feel like it's rainy enough now that it would have been disabled.
I believe it is disabled.
Okay, yeah, it would make sense. But interestingly enough, there's absolutely nobody that's retired from the race yet. So I know I just jinxed that, and we're surely going to see a massive collision now. But these drivers have all done well today around a pretty tricky, tight circuit to.
Especially in the rain.
Yeah, especially in the rain to keep it on track. Now, with there's not very many good battles or any battles really going on here on track right now, Seb. So I think it's it's a good time for one of the last pieces of Canadian trivia that I have, which I'm sure you're excited for. And one of the
actually, and Bucks with another 3-second time penalty.
Oh,
wow.
It's just crazy.
They just keep going and going, you know. And
Seb, if you want to come to the race in Montreal, then you got to know what you're in for, man. You can't just come into here blindfolded. And one of the uniquely Canadian things that we do have, well, this may not. the way I understand it is it, it does exist in other parts of the world as well, but particularly in the States, they look at us like we have two heads when we say this, is we have bagged milk, bags of milk.
I mean, that's what I used to have in high school.
Really?
I mean, unless it was just a ghetto thing, like I'm not saying I went to the most prestigious like schools,
Wait,
but I'm
what do
pretty
you mean you
sure
got,
like
what, you had like a personal size bag of milk?
yeah, like how like in school
Oh,
you get
no.
it was literally a bag of milk. Put a
Well,
straw in it.
are you talking about like those, did you have Kool-Aid jammers? Oh, that is a Mercedes that lost a front wing
That
end
is a
plate.
Renault that lost the front wing.
Oh, everybody's losing front wing end plates then. Did you have Kool-Aid jammers, or do you have Kool-Aid jammers?
Yes we do.
Safety car. Hello.
Wow.
For a front wing end plate, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, look like no. Well, there was a lot of front wing because David also lost his front wing again. He's completely running an F4 car.
No, it's a Formula Ford, Seb. Formula Ford.
And it's
But
a milk carton, Stu, not a
yeah.
bag.
No, no. So the bags of milk that we have, they're quite large. Like these are probably half-gallon bags. Like
Oh wow.
it's not a personal size thing of milk, and I say a half gallon just because I know that you can relate to that. But it is we do have it's about 1.3 liters per bag of milk. Um, so it is a quite large bag of milk, and that is something that's pretty unique about Canada. That
Oh, and Michael was. Oh, Michael's gone to full wet.
Oh, interesting. And no other drivers are really opting to pit. Well, there's drivers behind Michael that are coming in. We're seeing Michael Schooner, the Iceman. He came in and fitted a new set of inters. So I wonder if that means that we're in for more hard rain to end this race. Could that be a race-winning move on the part of Michael Garone Jr.? Or could that
I
be...
mean, well, you gotta figure with it being a long track. I mean, the cars aren't going to be going through the racing line for a bit. Yeah, it's a long train, but it's a long track. That's a lot of water that can set in that time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The real question is here, will these guys aren't going to be able to catch up to the leaders.
I mean, that's a little suspect. He's the only one on the wets.
Yes, it is. These guys are not going to, I mean, Dave Arbus is 32 seconds behind Joseph Bucks, who's currently in the safety car queue. And Dave is not giving it down the front or down the back straightaway here. I don't know why he's not. I don't mean to be critical of Dave, but he's not under a delta right now. Unless if he was, but...
Well, I think it's time to go get my fishing pole so I can go get that trout.
That's true. Actually, this Montreal circuit is situated in the middle of a river. It is a man-made island that it is on, and you could fish off of it, I'm sure, if you want to. I wouldn't want to eat anything that came out of it, but...
That is actually funny, Stu, because the island was first created in 1967 for the Expo 67 World's Fair.
That it is, and there's actually still a biosphere in the middle of it that was from that original Expo 67, a very iconic landmark on that island.
It's the Notre Dame Island.
Yes, it is, and there's a subway station that's it's on a neighboring island. I don't think it's actually connected to this island, but it's about a 5-minute walk from the closest point on the racetrack.
And it was funny because it didn't host its first F1 race till 1978.
Yeah, that's quite correct. And also, if you were listening to last night's broadcast, you would know that this is not the original track configuration. The pit lane actually used to be just out of the hairpin chicane. So the pit lane was relocated a number of years ago, and there was an additional chicane down the middle of that, the long straightaway that was removed.
I see.
The more you know, Seb. I know you know a lot based on your Wikipedia reading knowledge,
You
but
know, no, that's just knowledge from the brain, Stu. You know, like I wanted the kid to know where like one of my best buds is from, especially if I'm gonna go watch a race there.
well, here's something else that did you know that you can this track is open during almost the entire summer whenever there's not a race going on, and you're able to bike the track or walk the track if you like. It's a public road, and you're able to go on it in the summertime. And I've done that before. I have biked this circuit.
I mean, it is a semi-street circuit, you know.
It is actually technically it is like this is entirely on a street. Doesn't really
Little
lead
safety
anywhere.
car finally back in.
Yeah, thank goodness for you, eh? And while that happened, the safety car queue actually tightened right up. But interestingly enough, there are lap cars in the middle of this as well. We're going to see Wesley, we're going to see Bill Vosti, Peter Pan, Aaron Boland, Peter Hayward. They're all in this in the safety car queue. That's going to cause a little bit of chaos here when we go back racing.
I mean, look at that rain though on the track. I almost think those wets might have been a great call.
That could be a race-winning move here for Michael Garone Jr. We're going to see if it pays off here. There's 4 laps to go in the Canadian Grand Prix, and we're back to green flag racing. A battle for P4 here. Cameron's going to get the move done going into turn 1 and 2. And Michael Garone Jr. is getting some good traction drive here as he tries to catch up to Jonathan Dunk and make the move on him. Of course, the only driver in the field that's on the wet compound of tire right now. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. Don't know who that's for. I don't know who that's for, but...
Oh, and Bark School just right past Jonathan.
Actually, Jonathan's trying to get past Bark School. Jonathan started up in 4th. But is fallen like... Oh, there was... As we were saying that, Jonathan and Bark School got together. I don't know if they have damage, but man, oh man. And this is going to be madness here. Going into the chicane! Who forced off Michael? Michael got forced off into the cabbage. And he is not going to be pleased about that.
I believe that Haas is a back marker.
Oh no, that is not going to sit well with Mike. As that takes him completely out of that battle.
I mean, there's a lot of blue flags going on right now.
And lots of penalties being handed out as well. The Iceman, Michael Schoonert, is picked up another one. And we could have a bit of a battle here going on for P2 as Joseph Bucks is right close behind Daniel Hernandez. Of course, Bucks is on the fresher intermediate tires. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That's a Haas, I believe.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. Oh, the Iceman was able to get around his teammate, Jonathan Dunk, and now Michael is going to get around Jonathan Dunk as well. Trying to get as many positions back as he can with those wet tires. There's still, I guess, 3 full laps to go after this, so... still time to make up here.
Those are full wet conditions.
Yeah, this is full wet conditions. And Michael's the only one on the track on the full wets as he locks up going into the hairpin. Now, Seb, quickly, before we get any crazy action here, the final thing I was going to mention was poutine. An absolute staple of Canadiana. It's pretty much describes itself. Everybody knows what it is, and it did originate here in Quebec. I believe in Montreal, although it's a highly debated topic in Quebec where poutine originated from. But back to the action. No more Canadiana talk.
Michael Iceman got past Bark School.
That he did. So Dave is struggling on these intermediate tires. Of course, 13-lap old intermediates. He was one of the guys that pitted very early.
He's
Actually, he
got
was
wing damage.
the first. Oh, that's definitely not going to help either, is it? As Michael gets around him. I wonder what Michael's feeling with those. Oh!
Oh, and
Dave
bar
almost
school.
lost it. Yeah. And we have a
And now
battle.
penalties are just going to. I have no idea where penalties are.
Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to play out. We know that Zach has at least 13 seconds in penalty. Or no, he did serve one of the 5-second penalties in the pits, but he does still have one outstanding. So he has at least 8 seconds.
Daniel, I'm not sure of.
I'm not sure on Daniel, yeah. Daniel is in a battle right now for P2 on the track with Joseph Bucks. So we'll see how this wraps up. As these drivers are struggling a little bit in these wet conditions. Michael, maybe it's not full wet conditions, Seb. Michael is having a bit of a hard time staying on the back of the Iceman. So maybe that's a risk that's not going to work out for him. As Bucks gets past Daniel, I believe, without the aid of DRS. Of course, it is not enabled right now. Although I do know that Bucks has a lot of penalties to his name.
Man, I don't believe Daniel does.
I think he has a few, but I mean, what driver doesn't have a few at this point?
That is true.
But we're winding down here in the Canadian Grand Prix, and throughout this entire race, one thing has been consistent. We've hardly said his name at all, but Zach Hochmeyer, whether it's been dry or wet, he has been the class of the field here today in Canada. As long as he can hang on through the final few laps here in these tricky conditions, it looks like he is going to pull off his... Man, this has to be his 4th consecutive victory?
I believe so, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
He really is on a roll.
It's pretty incredible, to be honest. He's doing a very good job. Oh, as I said that, he almost lost it, as the Iceman picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Michael's now closing in on him, so maybe now it's raining hard enough that that those wets are going to be great on this final lap. As Michael has cleaned off about 0.6 of a second off the back of the Iceman. He's doing all he can to try and catch up, but it may not matter. Going now, about to go through the final chicane here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Zach Hochmeyer is going to come out of the final corner, and he is going to win the Canadian Grand Prix and his 4th consecutive race. Joseph Bucks crosses the line in 2nd, but is not going to keep it. Daniel Hernandez takes 2nd place.
Cameron, with an unserved penalty.
Yeah. Cameron is going to cross the line in 4th. Michael Garone Jr. hops up to P4, actually, so the consistent performance for Michael in avoiding penalties pays off. Cameron takes 5th. Dave Arbus, a nice run here today as the reserve driver, gets 6th place. Michael Schooner, the Iceman, gets P7. Julian Monegro, our top Canadian today, will finish in P8. Jonathan Dunk is coming around, and he looks to be crossing the line in P9, and he will. Alex Gutierrez, Bean Sandwich, will be one of the last drivers to finish here. He looks to take home P10. Bill Vosti will come home just out of the points in P11. Wesley will come home P12. Peter Hayward will come home P13 after scoring his first points last week. David Aponte will come home P14. Peter Pan and Aaron Boland are not classified.
Definitely an interesting race today.
That it is. a fun race to watch. There was lots of good battling there at the beginning, and definitely an enjoyable one to watch. Glad that we had a fun race as a Bark School, who appears to have a female avatar, takes home driver of the day. Not that there's anything wrong with having a female avatar. Just want to make that abundantly clear. um, the podium celebrations here. It's amazing. I think I said this on the weekend. It's amazing how it can go from an absolutely pouring wet race to a dry podium celebration.
Right?
It's
Just the weather change.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy in Montreal there, but that's just the way she goes. Daniel Hernandez picks up
quick as it left.
Yeah. Daniel Hernandez picks up the extra point for fastest lap of the race. I know Daniel is not able to join the party chat to discuss the race tonight, so we're going to invite Zach and Joseph here. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow there, but who did I say that I'm inviting here? Zach and Bucks. Alrighty, those invites out, and yeah, you're right. It's a shame that that Michael wasn't able to keep it a little bit closer there at the end. Maybe it was those full wet tires that cost him a little bit, but you know, it's a live and learn. He had to try something a little bit wonky, and it could have been a move that won him the race, but as it turned out, it did not. As it turned out, though, we have our third place finisher that's now joining us in the party chat. Joseph, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. So quite the race out there today. There was lots of great battles on track throughout the entire field, and we had a race that was hampered by some rain late in it. I guess walk us through your qualifying session there, and then ultimately the race. It seemed like there was a lot of good battles going on out there amongst the drivers.
Yeah, it was pretty good day for us overall. Qualifying, we just wanted to make sure we were in the top. I wanted to be in the top 2 rows. I know Canada can be a little hectic at the beginning with the left and right combination at the beginning there. So we got a P3 start, which I was pretty happy about, and we got up to P2 to start. But I realized real quick there was no catching Dillagaff. He is in a league of his own tonight. So I was just trying to minimize my penalties and hope that that would play a factor in the end. And then the rain, I saw it when we first started, and I was licking my chops because I really love the rain. Just the fact of, it makes other drivers make more mistakes, and you just have to be smooth the whole time. So that was a nice little twist. And in the end, it was just a couple too many penalties for me to give me a P3 instead of a P2. But I'm still overall pretty pleased with it. Some solid points going into the next weekend.
Yeah, while there may have been a few mistakes on racking up some of the extra penalties, one of the things that you did a good job of was not really damaging the car. You kept the car clean, and you were able to bring it home in one piece, especially throughout the rain. That's definitely a task in itself around a circuit here in Canada that the barriers really sneak up on you. I imagine next week we go to France, and it's kind of a polar opposite track. In France, we're going to see runoff area galore. Drivers have the ability to make mistakes as they please and not really be punished for them at all. Is France a circuit that you're looking forward to going to, or is it one that you think, it is a boring track, and you just don't really enjoy racing on it?
I actually really enjoy France. I think it's a good. I consider it a rhythm track. You really have to just kind of get in that groove, and you have to stay in it the whole time. Because if you don't, you'll end up racking up the penalties like you kind of do here in Canada. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. France is known to have its bits in rain, so that's nice too. So I'm excited for it. Definitely gonna get my practice in.
Yeah, practice is definitely key here. As I guess with any track is. Seb, is there anything that you want to add in here?
That was a great race, dude. I mean, it was very interesting, you know, watching all you guys get into the race, get into the wet and everything. You know, it's definitely going to be interesting next week when we're at France.
Yeah, for sure.
But as I understand it, Seb, unfortunately, the other two podium finishers snubbed us. You know, I do love talking about this Canadian circuit, so it's a little bit unfortunate. But
I just love talking to Bucks, man. Like, you know, it's nice to get a one-on-one with him.
that's true. It is. And again, thank you, Bucks, for joining us in the booth here. And you know what? Hopefully next week in France, especially if it's a track that you enjoy, it's definitely not a favorite on most people's calendars. So maybe we'll be talking to you again next week. Hopefully we
Yeah,
will.
I hope I am. Yeah, no, it's a great show for sure. You guys do a good job.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. We try our best, but I mean, Seb, unless if there's anything else that you need to add, I guess we can wrap her up.
I mean, if that's what it takes to get you to stop spitting out facts about Canada, I think we should end the stream.
Jesus, the fact that you just called it Canada, that's absolutely insulting. You know what? I need to leave the stream now. So, ladies and gentlemen, and screw you, Seb. Thank you for tuning in to the Transnation Esports Monday night regional here from Canada. We will be back next week as we head to the Circuit Paul Ricard in France. So we go from one Quebec city to, or one French race to another, from Montreal to France. So make sure to tune in for that, and sure to be plenty of more exciting racing action from there. On behalf of Seb and myself, thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.